Hello, hello. How is everybody in the new year, 2021? Well, we made it through 2020, and we're now in 2021. Boy, I'm glad. Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to everybody. Hello to the Wired fam. Hope everybody's doing well. What is up? Let's see. Who all we got tonight? I got to scoot closer. I look like I'm too far away for some reason. I don't know. Woo! All right. Let's see. Guys, if y'all would, when you get on, please, always put me a comment. Say hello. Let me know that you are on. I always like to say hello back to you guys. And I try to keep an eye on the comments over there. Just say hello to everybody, okay? Let's see. Who do we got tonight? Let's go down through here a little bit. I'm always catching up in the beginning. It looks like I'm skipping. I don't know. If I'm skipping, it'll catch up here in a minute. Let's see. Who all we got tonight in the new year? Andy Perry says, what's up, everybody, and Happy New Year. First live of the new year. Whoop, whoop. You like that? Whoop, whoop. First live of the new year. Yeah, I like it. Man, we got good things to come in 2021, guys. Let me tell you something. 2021 is going to be our year, okay? It is going to be the Wired Fam year. It's going to be the year of the Wired Fam. We've got some really cool stuff coming in 2021. I'm not going to call it a business plan, but we'll call it a plan anyway. We've got some really cool stuff coming in 2021, and we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. So if you're on the live tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about what are we going to do in 2021 that's going to be different, and why do you want to be a part of this channel? Why do you want to follow along with Wired for Crappie? Well, I'll tell you why, because we're going to help you become a better fisherman. That's all that this channel was started on. That's what we're going to continue to do in 2021. But let me tell you guys something. We're going to do it in a bigger, better, more efficient, more in-depth way than we did ever before. So we're going to put everything on the line, everything on the table, and we're going to make 2021 the year of Wired for Crappie. So you guys are going to want to be along for that ride. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have a lot of fun this year, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll get into more of that in a little bit, but let me say hello to some more of the Wired fam real quick. Let's see. David Smith from Crossville, Happy New Year. Chad Hillard says, good evening from Lindale, Texas. What's going on, Chad? Jimmy Pratt says, hello, Matt. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jimmy. Scary that it's pronounced 2021, Larry says. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Big O, hello, Matt, and the Wired fam. What's up, Big O? Ron Hall from Mississippi. What's going on? Asleep. What's up? Hello. Josh Sanders, hello from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Old Josh Sanders rolling in the house, guys. Let's see. Hit that like button, says Asleep at the Reel. Thank you, buddy. Guys, smash that like button. Let everybody know that you enjoy what's going on here. Let everybody know I'm goofy, stupid, dumb, crazy, all those good things. Smash that like button for me. That way everybody knows it's good content. And, hey, they can come learn a little something from Wired for Crappie. So smash that thumbs up. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you, Chris, letting everybody know. Matthew Kofeld, what up, Wired fam? What up, Matthew? Ted, what's going on? Harold from Rockwood, Tennessee, hello. Novor and all, right? Did I pronounce that right? What's up? Blake Hawk, howdy. How's it going, Blake? Blake, I'm going to come back around to your name in a minute because we're going to talk about all kinds of good stuff for 2021. We're going to lay out a plan. We're going to let everybody know what's going on, what to look out for, what to be on the prowl for right now, what to be on the prowl for come 6 months from now till the end of the year. We're going to let everybody know what's going on with the Wired fam and Wired for Crappie. So we'll come back around to Mr. Hawk. Let's see. Jamie Nelson, finally back. Missed the last two. Jamie, glad you're back with us. Happy New Year, sir. Crickwater Crappie Company. What's up, man? I had not seen you guys on here in a while. Guys, check out Crickwater Crappie Company on Facebook. They've got some hand-tied jigs that they're tying. Check them out. Give them a call. You can talk to them about their jigs. And we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being here, Crickwater. Okay. Joseph Thaxton from Macon, Georgia. What's up? Andy Perry, 2021 Bonehead Pumpkin Chartreuse Stump Bugs? Question mark, question mark, question mark. We're going, I will give you guys a little bit of a heads up on that in a little bit, okay? Bear with me, Andy. Bear with me. All right, Georgia Bill. Good evening, all. Good evening, Georgia Bill. Heath McDaniel says, good evening. Good evening, sir. Lamar Ingram, hello. Jackie Jordan, what's up? Donald McQuilling, what's up, buddy? Not much, Donald. How are you? Welcome. Glad you're here. Larry McBride from Bull Shoals, what's going on? Teddy Willett, hello, hello. Stephen from Holly Springs, North Carolina, what's up? Ronnie Harris, good evening. Carrollton, Georgia. Man, I'll tell you, Ronnie, every time you put Carrollton, Georgia on there, my mouth waters a little bit. I got to take a drink of my drink over here, my Mountain Dew. Because my mouth waters a little bit from all that barbecue. I say it every week, but I mean it. That barbecue down there in Carrollton, they know how to do it down there, guys. So welcome, Ronnie. Todd Pell, hello. Johnny Coots, what's up? Living life with Laura. I tried to go live with everyone, and he wouldn't let me. I'm on kid duty, she says. Maybe next time, Wired fam. That's funny. Yeah, my wife came out. She had so my wife has, she sells for Mossy, from what's that stuff called? Something. She sells some kind of makeup products. I think I should know this. This is really bad. I don't know, but I don't know the name of this product. It's for Mossy or for Moss for something. She'll walk over here and tell me in a minute at the door, I'm sure. But anyway, she was on her live thing that she does, and she had all her makeup on, did her face beautiful, guys. Let me tell you something. She comes out of there every time. She just looks like like the Mona Lisa. She's so beautiful, comes out of there. So anyway, she's like, I'm going live with you tonight. I was like, you're beautiful. Let me tell you, just sit you right over here. And I was like, but nah, I don't think so. Because we'd have kids, dogs, cats running around in here. It'd be pretty funny. Anyway, next, let's see who we got. Brad Nelson from Moore, Oklahoma. What's going on, Brad? Tim Payne, hey. Joseph Thaxton, what's up? George Bill says, Joseph Thaxton, what's up? Making here as well. What's going on, Georgia Bill? Ernest Cole Fishing says, what's up, y'all? Just placed an order for Bonehead. Can't wait to try them. Well, my friend, let me tell you something. You got to come back and let us know because you're going to catch fish. You're going to catch more fish per jig before it tears, and the colors are wonderful. So they got a great color selection, great baits. Durability is top notch, and I really, really like them. We're going to talk about a new bait that I used on the video last week, and we're going to talk about the video last week because there was a lot of controversy about my video last week. So we're gonna talk about that as well. We'll get all that in a minute. Let me get the howdies out of the way, okay, guys? Donald says, how long did it take to get back to the ramp after breakdown? I think it was about 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that, from start to finish. From start of I'm broke down or I have an issue, okay? From start of I got a problem to on the trailer, getting ready to head to the house, I think it's about 4 hours. So, yeah, something like that, 4 or 5. Anyway, but interesting day. We'll get into that here in a minute as well. Let's see here. Sleep said good save on that one. Yeah. Hey, I know where my priorities are, Chris. My priorities are in that woman sitting out there. All right, let's see. Tim Payne says, was in Carrollton visiting his mom and sister over the weekend. Well, I hope you went downtown and got barbecue from that little barbecue place downtown. That place is really good. And it's right across the street or right around the corner from their amphitheater. So they've got an amphitheater down there in downtown Carrollton, which actually I put the roof on the theater and on the stage for the theater, and also put the roof on the bathrooms, metal roofing. So, yeah. Anyway, really, really good place down there and really, really good barbecue. So one of my favorite barbecue places I've ever been to, and I've been to several. So anyway, let's see. All right, so I see a question from Ted. Hey, Matt, JT's All Outdoors says, hey, how's it doing? Doing well? I'm doing well, sir. Hope you're doing well as well. Slab Buster, what's up? Yeah. Crappie Kev, tell the wife you need a new motor. Yeah, we'll see how that flies. And Ted says, did you get your boat motor fixed? So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Joseph Thaxton says, what's the name of the barbecue restaurant in Carrollton? Sure. I can't remember the name of it. For this to save my life, I can't remember the name of it. Ronnie Harris, what's the name of that place? Ronnie, put a comment in there. What's the name of that barbecue place? Tim Payne says, I remember when they were putting it up in the amphitheater. It's pretty neat, guys. It's this outdoor theater. It's got fake artificial grass. It's terraced. You can go sit on the grass and watch all these little skits and plays and stuff. Anyway, we did some metal roofing down there for them. So. All right, so let's talk first about the show last week, I guess, because there's been more comments about the show last week than what our 2021 looks like. So let's talk a little bit about the show last week. So got up, got a tournament coming up, wanted to go pre-fish, spend some time, wanted to look at a lot of different places. I had a plan. So my plan was to go and not fish anything. I did not want to fish anything that I fished before until lunch. So that was my plan. And then from lunch to about 2 or 3 o'clock, I was going to film for you guys, do a show, just, my normal routine, I guess, as far as setting my GoPros up, getting on fish, talk to you guys a little bit. What I was going to do is a float and fly show. I wanted to do float and fly. I had my float fly rod. I had it all rigged up. I was looking forward to doing a float and fly show. I was going to go find some shallow fish and catch them on a float and fly on the flats. And about 11 o'clock, so I started fishing at daylight. And I guess, well, maybe it was a little before 11. I guess it was about 10:30. Anyway, whatever time it was. So I'd run all morning. I'd run all over the lake. I'd probably run 20 miles that morning alone, just looking at new spots, eliminating water. That's what I like to do, is I like to say, when I'm pre-fishing, I want to find that water that doesn't have fish, okay? I don't want to find a bunch of fish. I want to eliminate the areas that don't have fish, because if I fish new areas that I don't typically fish and I eliminate those areas, then that tells me the areas that I do typically fish are where the fish are at, right? And sometimes you luck up and you find those big fish in an area that you've never fished before or never caught those fish in. So I went to a lot of spots that typically don't hold good fish. They typically hold small fish, and I did catch small fish just like I should have. And I was running around, got to one spot, fished it, was going to leave there and start, I guess, kind of that transition into, looking at my normal spots, some of my better spots, start filming a little bit for you guys. I was going to run up the lake, and I was going to go look for some of those float and fly fish and see what they looked like and catch some of them that way. When I left that last spot, I started the motor. I was idling. There was a guy sitting there in a bass boat bass fishing, so I thought, okay, I'll idle around him. I idled past him, and I got past him, and I thought, okay, I'm good. I'm going to dump it. So, of course, I trimmed the motor down. I went to dump the throttle. I dumped it about 3/4 of the way, and the motor started just violent, shaking and rattling and carrying on. And I immediately backed off it, threw it in neutral. It still sat there in neutral and just started to die. Then it died. So I was like, okay, that's not good. So I reached down, hit the key again, just crank, nothing. So I thought, that's not good. So I thought, okay, well, let's process of elimination. Not the battery, because we're cranking. Take the cowling off. Flywheel's coming up. It's hitting. It's not the starter. Okay. It's spinning like it should, dropping up, down, all the good nines. I'm checking everything through my list, right? Get down to, okay, it's not ignition. Checked all the coils, checked all the plugs, made sure the plugs didn't slip off, nothing like that, nothing crazy. I thought, okay, let's squeeze the primer bulb, reach under the deck, squeeze the primer bulb. There's nothing in the primer bulb. And I was like, okay, well, squeeze. And I could hear the fuel, because I had the cowling off the motor. I could hear the fuel going into the carburetors as I was squeezing. Just squeeze, and I could hear it filling up the carburetor bowls. And okay. So kept squeezing, filled them up, got it good and tight, squeezed the mess out of that primer bulb to make sure there was no leaks in the system. No leaks. Andy says, impressive motor sound imitations. Thank you very much. I've been in a boat long enough every week that I got them down, Andy. So got fuel back in the carburetors, reached up there, hit the key, and it fired right up. I mean, she fired right up. Then I just sat there and listened to it. She just purred. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I just got some gum or something, some gunk in the system, you know. So I sat back down at the helm, and I got about 3/4 throttle on it. I thought, oh crap, backed it off again. So went back there, started squeezing the primer bulb, and it cleared right up. And she's just purring like a kitten. I thought, oh crap. So I thought, okay, let's see how far I can get, on each pump. So I throttled down and literally got up on plane, went 75 yards, and it died. All right, let's see how far I can idle. So I could idle about 100 yards if I was lucky. At just an idle, I could get about 100 yards. And it seemed like it was getting worse. So I thought, okay, I got a fuel pump. Fuel pump's out. I will tell you guys this. Parts are a fuel pump for that boat is $600. And parts in general are expensive and hard to get right now, especially for a Johnson who, as we know, Evander Johnson no longer makes motors. So, yay me. Okay, enough about that. I'm moving on. So I did make some phone calls. Obviously, you guys saw the live. You guys know what happened from there. I found a guy that was on the lake that said he would come get me. I had a buddy with him. Here's what I needed. Okay. And I've had people on so let's talk about some of the posts that I had on Facebook and on YouTube and some of your comments. So the first one I'm going to discuss is the towboat thing. I do have insurance. I have boat insurance, of course, because I guide. So I do have insurance for my boat and my occupants. And my insurance does cover towing. Okay. But as we all know, you call your insurance, next time your insurance is due to renew, it's like, oh, by the way, it's going up to, because, you used it. So it's like you're darned if you do, darned if you don't, right? So what I needed that day was just somebody that had a boat, that had a buddy in the boat with them. They could come sit in the boat with me, squeeze the primer bulb while I book it back to the ramp. So I was trying to find that. Didn't want to call for a tow because I just needed somebody to squeeze the primer bulb. And I had a guy tell me he was coming. I sat in there for another 2.5 hours waiting. Never saw anybody, never got a phone call back. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to try my best to make it back to the ramp. I'll see how long I can squeeze the primer bulb. And we'll see how far I can get. So I idled the creek that I was in. I idled all the way out of the creek into the main river. Got into the main river where I was, 300 or 400 yards on both sides of the boat from the bank, if not more than that, where I felt completely and totally safe as far as transitioning from the steering wheel to the pump, right? And I've had some comments about not wearing my life jacket. I'll go ahead and address those. In Tennessee, it is not mandatory that you wear a life jacket. It is frowned upon if you don't for safety reasons. In hindsight being what it is, it would have been safer. I'll say it would have been safer if I would have put one on, but at the time I just wanted off that lake. Okay. I wanted off that lake and I wanted to get back, figure out what was going on. And I wanted off the lake at that point. I've never wanted off the lake, but I wanted off the lake at that point because I was a little perturbed about several different things and I just wanted off the lake. So I will say this, if I was on an open deck, and I put this post out there, if I was on an open deck bass boat, without a shadow of a doubt, there's no way I would have been back there at the motor pumping a primer bulb on an open deck, flat top deck bass boat. No way. But as you guys know, I fish out of a deep V. I'm 24 inches of boat on either side that I'm standing in. I mean, it's not like I was on an open deck. So I felt completely safe. I felt completely in control. I know my boat like the back of my hand. I literally spend probably as much time in that boat as I do in my bed, sleeping. Literally, I live in it just about most of the time, and I know what it'll do and what it won't do, and I know just exactly when I feel comfortable and when I don't. Right, so the video is a little misleading. It looks like I'm running wide open across the lake. I am not. I am not running wide open across the lake. I was only running about 15 to 18 mile an hour because I just got it up on plane and I just started, just enough to where I could get the nose of the boat down so that I could see what was in front of me. So I really wasn't running that fast, but hindsight, it would have been safer for sure. So, but, all things considered, we got back, we were safe getting back, and we did not blow the motor up. We're working on it. She is not fixed yet. I have started the process with parts, and I went through the entire fuel system to see if I could find a leak. There was not a leak. Okay. So that's where we're at. But I guarantee you she will be fixed before the weekend. So we will, as I told you guys on the live, I do my own motor work unless I get into something real deep internal, and then I will sub it out. But I typically do all my own motor work. So we're going to get her rolling. And we'll get back on the water and get some more videos for you guys. So, all right, real quick, let's see what you guys are saying, because that was a long story. But that was the weekend. Caught plenty of fish. Actually, used a new bait, which you guys saw. So let's talk about that. That was the Bonehead Tackle brush glider. So I was really impressed. With the brush glider. I mean, I had fish coming up 5-6 feet to hit that brush glider. That's the brush glider. Like I said in the video, it was designed to fish this way. with the hook coming out of the top and the jig head, obviously on the nose. Hook comes through, comes out the top. And it was designed, that's how they designed the bait, as a beaver tail bait that goes up and down like this. But I actually fished it vertically, like that right there. And I mean, just fish hammered it. They absolutely loved that bait vertical. So you can tear this tail. This tail will actually, it's got a perforation right in the center of it. I don't know if you can see that, or a pressed line in the center of it. So you can literally take this and just ease it right down that line, and you can tear that tail. And I'm probably going to do that at some point. That gives it 2 tails instead of 1. So I'll probably play with that a little bit as well. But I mean, guys, I was impressed, really, to be honest with you. So I'll probably use that a little bit more. You guys know I love the stump bug, but the brush glider is intriguing. So we're going to use that a little bit more on the channel, see if we can catch some more fish on that when the boat gets fixed. But yeah, I mean, I caught fish. Unfortunately, I broke down before I got to some of my better spots that generally hold bigger fish. So, and then I did fish around where I broke down and caught a lot of fish, just same size, a bunch of 9-10 inch fish. But it was a good day nonetheless. Feeling the thump, any day you get to feel the thump is a good day. So let's see. I'm going to try to go back to where we left off with comments. Chris, I'm not going there, first of all. Slabbuster says, hey, your boat drives funny. I think I'd have to sell that one. Drives funny. I'm not selling my Ranger. My Ranger 690 VS ain't going nowhere. It may get a new motor put on it, but it ain't going nowhere. I'm keeping that boat. I love my 690 VS. It is the most comfortable boat I've ever fished out of. It's roomy, it's spacious, it's comfortable. It ain't going nowhere. The deck on it's huge. I'm good. I mean, I wish they'd start making them again, but hey, I'm not Ranger, so. Jimmy Pratt said, Matt, start selling waypoints on lakes and you can buy a new motor. Lots of laughs. $1 a waypoint. I sell about 12,000 waypoints. I get enough for a new motor. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Anybody want to buy some? Anybody want to buy 12,000 of them? That's funny. Ronnie Harris said the restaurant could be Shane's or Billy Bob's, not sure which one. So it's the one, Ronnie, the barbecue place in Carrollton is the one you walk down you go into the barbecue place, and on the right-hand side going in is the smoker. There's a smoker literally on the right-hand side in the window, and there's wood in there and all that good stuff. So there's like a little window area, and it's got a smoker in it. So I don't know which one that is, but maybe you do. Kendrick says, hey, Matt, hope you got the motor straightened out. That's what we're talking about right now. Roger T, if we all call Bonehead with Matt's help, maybe they will run us some pumpkin chartreuse stump bugs. Yeah. Roger, maybe. Slabbuster said they made millions of those 150 fast strikes. Should be easy to find parts. It's easy to find used parts, yeah, and it's easy to find some of the simple stuff like so you can find water pumps, you can find gaskets, seals, you can find carb bowls, you can find Schrader valves, you can find fuel vapor separators. You can find all that, floats, filters. You can find all that stuff pretty easy. What you can't find real easy, and you have to, well, you can find, but you have to pay out the wazoo for, is a fuel pump. So, yeah, it's not cheap, but anyway, it'll be all right. We'll find stuff. We'll get her fixed. Jim Stone, so just wanted to say hey and keep up the good work. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate you, buddy. JT says, are running the blue fuel line that, if not affected by ethanol? I don't run the blue. Oh, there we go. The old black fuel lines will break down after a few years. So I do not run the blue fuel line, JT, but I also do not run ethanol. I run 100% gas. I will not stop and put gas in my boat unless it's 100%. I will drive 20 miles out of my way to find 100% gas before I put ethanol in my boat. Since I've owned that boat for 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, however long it's been, I have not put ethanol fuel in that boat, not one time, unless they were promoting 100% that had ethanol in it, and then yeah, I did. But I've always went to the 100% gas pump, and I do not use Weigel's 100% gas because it comes out of the same hose, and you can't tell me that from wherever that separator is in that hose that separates ethanol to 100%, that from there to the end of the hose doesn't have ethanol fuel in it. So I go to a station that has pure 100% gas at its own pump, and that's where I generally fill my boat up. So no, I don't run ethanol fuel at all. Crappie Kev, sounds like you have a bad primer bulb. My buddy had the same problem on his boat. Well, we're going to eliminate that because I've got a new primer bulb coming too. So we're gonna eliminate that one and make sure that's not it first, Crappie Kev. So I've got quite a few parts coming, and I figure, hey, we got a fuel system problem. We'll redo the whole fuel system, right? So if we have to. If we don't have to, great. If we do, we do. Got to have something consistent. Got to have something that you can trust out there on the lake. So anyway. Jamie Nelson says deep V's are great. My wife can't swim and never gets nervous in our DVX 19. Yeah, they are. They really are great. I love mine. I feel safe in it. I love when I take my kids out in it. I feel like they're safe in it. I don't have to worry if my son runs to the back of the boat. I don't have to worry about is he on the edge? Is he he's in the floor. Now, I have turned around before, and my son's standing on the back by the motor going, "Look, Daddy, look at me." And I'm like, "Hey, you want to get down a minute?" But no. And I'm talking when we were fishing. He walked back there, not when the boat's running. Somebody's going to be like, "Really? You let him go back there on the boat?" No. I'm talking when we're sitting somewhere fishing. He's walking around in the boat. But anyway, yeah, I feel very safe in that boat. I love it. I love the way it rides. I love the way it sits in the water. I love the way that it's stable. I just love everything about my 690. So, yep, I will. I'll be keeping that one for sure, even if we have to put a new motor on it. Let's see. Josh Sanders said, "I'll take 100 waypoints." That's funny. No problem, Josh. $12 a waypoint. uh, let's see. JT says we got a gas station, or we got a station that sells ethanol-free fuel, and that's all that I have been running in my boat. So glad that they are doing that. Yeah. So here in East Tennessee, it's pretty easy to find 100% gas. I have been on some trips where it is not easy to find 100% gas. It's a little difficult to find it out. Well, Hartwell wasn't too bad. When we went to Hartwell, it wasn't too bad at all to find it on Hartwell. High Rock, however, when we went to High Rock, you couldn't find 100% gas down there. You had to drive way out of the way to get it down there. But most of the time, you can find 100% gas pretty easy around the East Tennessee area, and I guess the Eastern United States. I guess it's just pretty easy to find it, but Southeast anyway, because I fished Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee, Kentucky, and you can find it. So anyway, pretty easy over this way, but yeah, I know some places they don't have 100%. Yeah, 100% is more expensive, but if I don't have to worry about ethanol, I'll pay a little bit more for it. Josh said Venmo or PayPal on his waypoints. That's funny. 10 good waypoints for $100. You guys are nuts. Yeah, now we're getting into a convo about gas prices. Hey, gas is cheap right now. I'm happy with gas prices. I don't know about you guys, but it's cheap. I hope it stays that way. So, yeah. All right. So that was last week. That was everything that was boat and motor. And, hey, if you own a boat, that's what's going to happen. So we'll get back to it. We'll get her fixed. We'll get back on the water. No big deal, right? The fish that I found were all grouped up. Water temperatures were 49. They were running in schools, a lot of them suspended, and most of the fish I found were smaller. I didn't find any real large fish. But yeah. Did see a lot of fish chasing bait, a lot of fish out there in open water chasing schools of shad. You could see the schools of shad out in open water, and you could see fish actually busting those bait balls or breaking those bait balls. And I'm assuming they were crappie. I didn't stop and fish for any of them. I did see some on my live scope, obviously, because I had to troll around most of the afternoon in the creek I was in to, try to look for fish. I probably should have thrown at some of them, but I didn't. I was looking for structure and some different things, just kind of looking at some new areas. But yeah, a lot of fish out there, just a lot of small fish, which is evidence of a good spawn 2 years ago. When you see thousands of 9-inch fish, 2 years ago, they had a really good spawn. So, Andrew Alonso said he's thinking about that money. Hey, waypoints are hard to come by. I don't know that I'm going to be selling any waypoints, but if I ever do have to jump into a new motor, maybe that'd be a way we can get a little bit of extra spending cash. I'll sell waypoints in every state but Tennessee. I've got them all over the Southeast, guys. So yeah, I'll be selling waypoints on Hartwell for $12 a piece. That's funny. No. I'm not thinking about it that bad. I don't need it that bad right now. Not selling my waypoints. A lot of time in those waypoints. I give a lot of them away on my YouTube videos, guys. Come on now. You watch the YouTube videos. A lot of guys are like private investigators, man. I mean, I get phone calls. After I do a video, I get a phone call from all kinds of people like, I know where you were. That's the first thing they'll say out of their mouth. The phone rings. I pick it up. I'm like, hello. I know where you were. Yeah. Okay. So I start checking my phone. I'm like, they tracking me? Like, I seen it on your video. I'm like, oh, you did? I know right where that dock's at. I know right where that tree is. I know right. It's like, I know that point. I'm like, okay, cool. You ever catch fish there? All the time. I'm like, well, good. So yeah, it's funny. I love it. It's like Where's Waldo? It's like Where's Waldo with fish, right? It's pretty good. Hold up. I see super chat. Big O, here's something to help you get back in the water fishing soon. Man, Big O, thank you. God. Thank you very much, Big O. Thank you. That's one of the biggest super chats I've ever got on this channel, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I appreciate you very much, and that's a blessing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't say enough. Thank you, Big O. Thank you for super chat. And guys, if you don't know what a super chat is, if this is your first time here, there's a button right below your comment section that has a little $sign on it. That's a button for super chat. If you click on that, button, it'll walk you through how to give a super chat and what super chats are for. It's a way for you to give back to this channel. It's a way for you to give back to Wired for Crappie, keep me on the water, making great content for you guys. And man, Big O, thank you again. That's top notch, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate every single super chat that comes in. Doesn't matter if it's $50 or $1. It helps. Every little bit helps, guys, and I appreciate that very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see. Josh Sanders again. Boy, Josh just wants some waypoints. Josh said you'll have a new motor in no time. Yeah, probably would, Josh. Probably would, my friend. I don't think I can do it though. I really don't. Let's see. Nope. I see another super chat. Josh Sanders, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you. It is a blessing. I appreciate it very much. Guys, y'all are awesome. Awesome, awesome. I can't say thank you enough. I really can't. No waypoints needed. That's pretty good. Josh, guys, do y'all remember? I'm going to put this out there, Josh. I hope you don't mind, but if you guys remember, we did a charity event. We gave some a trip away for charity. Josh actually won that, and he is going to be getting waypoints anyway. So Josh, no waypoints needed, but I'm sure you're going to get them here soon anyway when we go on our trip. So thank you again, Josh. I appreciate it. That's a blessing to me, and I don't take it lightly. Thank you. All right, I lost my spot again, but I'll find it. Here we go. Phil Pickett says, I'm going to try crappie tourney this year. Was wondering if you could talk about the best spots to look for bigger fish on dammed up lakes. Sure, absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you for the question. First of all, crappie tourneys, guys, let me say this, if you have fished tournaments before, let's say you've went and fished bass tournaments before, okay, and you didn't, the atmosphere wasn't right, the camaraderie wasn't right, whatever the reason may be that you don't fish tournaments now, go fish a crappie tournament. Trust me, it is a completely different atmosphere. The camaraderie, the friendships, the willingness to share, the just everything that has to do with a crappie tournament is so welcoming and just so awesome. They're just geared that way. Everybody in the crappie world is just geared that way. It's just a lot of fun. So if you're skittish about putting yourself out there in a crappie tournament, just show up. That's the biggest step. The biggest step is show up. It's not catching fish. It's not weighing a big bag. It's not winning the tournament. It's show up and just enjoy your time and meet some people, get to know some people. The big fish and the winning tournaments comes. Trust me, it comes. If you do it long enough, it comes. It's just, you got to take that leap of faith and you got to put yourself out there. So Phil, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you're going to go fish one. I hope it's with East Tennessee Crappie Club, but if not, that's cool too. I'm not sure exactly where you're at, but if I was looking for bigger fish on dammed up lakes, I would look for the sparser cover. I would look for those individual fish where there's 1, 2, 3 fish instead of 200, 300 fish. Generally, your bigger fish are loners. They're going to be out kind of on their own. So you want to kind of look for those fish in those areas where, it's a little sparser cover and it's going to hold fewer fish, because that's where your larger fish are generally going to hang out. Okay. So on dammed up lakes, a good rule of thumb for year-round fishing is 15 to 18 feet. That can change based on weather patterns and water temperatures and all that, but that's the general rule of thumb. But just try to locate that sparser cover and try to find those fish that are away from those large schools. Okay. Yep. I see another super chat. Jamie Nelson, thanks for the tips and all you do. Thank you, Jamie, for the super chat. Man, that's awesome. I appreciate you very much. It's a blessing again, guys. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I could sit here for an hour and just keep saying thank you, because I feel that that's necessary when you guys do what you do for the channel. But man, I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And you're very welcome. I enjoy giving the tips, guys. I enjoy helping, if I can help somebody catch more fish, that's my goal. That's what I want to do. So, it comes from me honestly and easily. And I really do enjoy, outside of giving away all my waypoints to Josh. I really do enjoy it. Guys, I mean, here's the thing. I could sit out here and I could lay waypoints out in front of you guys and say, go fish here, you'll catch fish. Figure it out. But in the big scheme of things, it's not going to help. That's not going to help you grow as an angler. That's just going to say, drop it here, drop it here, drop it here. What we are trying to do as a channel is to put ourselves out there and help you guys learn what to look for, what areas to find those fish, how to be an efficient angler. Because if you call me today and say I'll fish Watts Bar, and I say fish this hole, this hole, this hole, and this hole, and then a year from now something happens, your job changes or whatever, and you move to another lake, then what are you going to do there? You're going to have to call me and say, hey, I'm on this lake now. Do you have here, 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 here? But if I help teach and I help educate, you can go to any lake in the country and find fish. I'm confident that I can go to any lake in this country and find fish. Now, can I go win a tournament on any lake in this country? No, but I can go find fish. I'll go find fish. If there's crappie in that lake, I'll find them. But there again, that's what we want to do, is we want to help guys and girls become better anglers as a whole and learn to locate those fish, and it'll last a lifetime. Waypoints won't last a lifetime because a lot of times they're going to deteriorate. So Anthony Marshall, Everyone chip in and help where else can you see someone driving a boat with no hands. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Anthony. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Driving a boat with no hands, that's pretty good. Again, I thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate it, buddy. It does not go lightly. It's not something I take lightly, and I appreciate it very much. So thank you for the super chat. That will go into helping get the boat back on the lake and get me back out there making good content for you guys. So thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate you. Let's see. Where are we at? And Phil, I hope that answered your question. And thank you for the question. So Kendrick Pemberton, just curious, you ever fish Norris? I can't seem to have much luck for crappie on Norris. I have fished Norris, okay? Did I catch crappie when I was up there? Yes. Could I go win a tournament on that lake tomorrow? No. Because I hate that lake. I shouldn't say I hate that lake. I don't hate any lake, but I dislike it a little bit. It's a very deep, very clear lake, very steep bank, very clear. Did I say very clear? Very clear lake. But it has crappie in it. Okay. I know most of the crappie that come out of that lake do come up around or come off the lake up around. What is that up there? Is it Star Marina or something like that? Somebody help me out. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to look up the name of that marina. I'm going to help you out. Okay. Most of the crappie that come off Norris come off of or come from around. Hang on. I'm looking for my creek. Navionics. Gotta love Navionics, right, guys? That's too far up. That's too far up. That's too far up. Where am I at? Goodness gracious, this lake is huge. Guys, if you don't know, if you have never seen how big Norris Lake is, you got to look it up. Norris Lake is huge. All right, so most of your fish come out of, they come off the Clinch River side, most of them, from what I understand. Now, I do know there are some on the other side because when I went up there, I did fish the other side, but because I wanted to see if I wanted to challenge, right? I wanted to see if I could find them on the other side, and I did. But here we go. So most of your fish come from Sycamore Creek area. Big Sycamore Creek is where most of your fish come from, off of Norris. I've heard that area up there a lot. Bull Creek, Sycamore Creek, that area up through there. That's way up river. It's way up the Clinch. And I do know. And then from Stars Marina or whatever that is, there's a big flat, big point or not point, big creek that goes back there. Bunch of flats on it. You know, I know people fish in there a lot too and catch crappie. So that gives you a couple areas to look on Norris. I know trolling, a lot of guys troll on Norris. There is some brush up in Sycamore Creek, up in that area. I guess it's, that marina. Hickory Star. Across the lake from Hickory Star and up the creek is a good area. So, I just seen another super chat. Let's see. JT's All Outdoors. Let's help this poor, struggling crappie fisherman get back on the water. Really one of the best crappie fishermen that I have seen. Thank you, JT. First of all, thank you for the kind words. And guys, it's very humbling, and I appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, JT. Thank you, everyone who's given a super chat tonight. I appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Every one of you. You guys are awesome. All of you guys are awesome. All the Wired fam is awesome. You guys are so You're always so plugged in on Wednesday nights. You always have questions and content. A lot of times I come on here with a plan, and a lot of times I don't. And you guys formulate a plan for me while we're live. So it's always so much fun. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the channel. And JT, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you, buddy, very much. And thank you for the kind words again. I appreciate it. Let me go back up here to my Norris question. So I hope that answers some of your questions on Norris. At least that gives you a couple areas to look at on Norris. Maybe you can be successful up there, okay? Daryl Quarles, any update on when ACC will have more rods? Yeah, guys, look, everything that's going on right now and has been going on this year has really put a kink in things. ACC will have some more rods. As far as an ETA on those, I would love to tell you when that's going to be, but right now, I don't know. I've talked to Andy multiple times at ACC, and the thing is you always hate to put a date out there, and let me tell you why. Because if you guys ordered anything around the holidays, they tell you, hey, this is going to ship to you in 6 days. And then on day 6, you get a notification that says, oh, there's been a delay in your package. And the next thing you know, it's 6 more days before you actually get the thing. So you always hate to put a date out there on that stuff when there's just thousands of people that are waiting, literally thousands of people waiting on an ACC rod, because then you stand the potential of letting down thousands of people, and nobody wants to do that. So they're on their way. They're coming as quickly as they can, Daryl. And I do know Gunny's still has some. So if you're looking for an ACC crappie stick, Crappie Cove at Gunny's still has them. You can look them up on Facebook, Crappie Cove on Facebook. They have a website, www.crappiecove.com. You can order from there. My suggestion would be pick the phone up, give them a call. Best customer service, best people in there that you'll ever talk to, that's assured. And you can call, tell them you want the wired discount. They'll hook you up 10% off, even on the ACC rods. Wired discount gets you 10% off at Crappie Cove, and you guys can get yourself some ACCs. They do have some. I know they have some left. I was just there the other day, and I know I saw green rods on the rod rack. So what they have as far as sizes, I don't know, but you'll have to call and ask them. So try that, Daryl, and they will ship to you. So give them a call, and they may have what you need there. Jimmy says, sell your pumpkin and chartreuse. I ain't selling my pumpkin and chartreuse, but I guess what is today? Well, it's January the 6th. So I guess it's I'll give y'all a tidbit of information on the pumpkin and chartreuse stump bugs. So they at some point, in some way, in some fashion, you may be able to get your hands on some pumpkin and chartreuse stump bugs. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I ain't saying no more. All I'm going to say is this is 2021, and as we talked about earlier in the show, we're talking about what's coming 2021, and we got good things coming 2021. So I'm not going to say I've got pull. I'm not going to say, I guess I'm not going to say I don't, but stay tuned. All right, stay tuned. It's going to be good. It's going to be some good things coming 2021. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more here in just a second. I'm going to look at a couple more comments. We're going to talk 2021. We're going to talk what's coming, what's new, what do we got? I mean, come on. Everybody wants to know what's new. Everybody wants to know what's coming, what's fun. What are we going to do fun this year? I want to know what we're going to do fun this year. So we're going to talk about that here in just 1 second, too. I will find your spot and I will fish it, Slabbuster said. Yeah. Ronnie Harris wants to know if I've tried the ACC jigs yet. Have some on the way, as a matter of fact, but hadn't tied one on yet. But I do have someone on the way, so I'll be able to give you a little bit more on that here in a little bit. Okay. Don't forget to hit the like button, says Georgia Bill. Appreciate that, Georgia Bill. Smash that like button, guys. I appreciate you. Call me Camo 2. I'm late. Is Big Red down for the count or something? No, Big Red's not down for the count. Big Red's sick. Big Red's getting a new fuel system, and Big Red is going to be roaring once again by the weekend, I'm hoping. So, we did what we need to do to get some stuff coming here, because I don't want to disappoint you guys. I don't want to have to come back and say it's going to be 4 weeks before I get another show. So we did what we had to do. We've got some stuff coming to get her back up and running, I believe, and we're going to put the wrenches to work this week. We're going to get her back going. We're going to kick it off right. So, maybe we'll throw her a birthday party or something. Maybe throw her a little bit of a shindig or something like that. I don't know. We'll do something, but hopefully we'll get her back up and running. Hopefully, and cross your fingers, knock on wood, cross your toes, and all that good stuff. So, thanks for the question, though. Andrew says, my boat went down the next day on the same lake. Only caught small ones, but they were everywhere, so it was fun. Well, Andrew, what happened? What happened to the boat, man? Maybe Chick is just cursed right now. I don't know. I hope you get yours up and running again too, sir. Slabbuster said, can't kill those fast strikes, great motors. You really can't. I mean, the flaw of the fast strike, guys, was the fuel system. Fuel system was the flaw. Everything else in that motor is basically bulletproof, knock on wood. But the fuel system is the weak point of those motors. So, I had one guy actually said that if your fuel pump went out, your oiler went out, and you're pumping straight fuel I don't pump straight fuel. I mix my fuel, guys. I don't do oilers and all that stuff. I deleted that oiler when I got the boat. As soon as I got the boat, first thing I did was delete it. Actually, it was already deleted. The oiler was already deleted. They'd been running premix in it for years, and I do the same thing. I premix, and so if there's gas getting to the motor, there's oil getting to the motor. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So anyway, there's one guy commenting about that, and so we took care of that issue. There's a ramp down by the dam. If anybody knows anything about that area, Larry's asking questions. The whole lake is good, really. That Chick is. You can find fish all over that lake from dam to dam, really. It's just a matter of where those bigger ones are. But no, it's a good area down there, Larry. It's large, it's wide, and it's deep. Obviously, being above the dam, it's deeper water, and it's a large, wide area. I know the wind gets real bad down there. When the wind's blowing, it gets real bad down there because it's so open, and it's in between two hills too. It's in between two peaks. So wind will come right down through there, and it gets pretty bad down there sometimes. It white caps down there. So let's see. Ashley says, Matt talked me into trying a crappie tournament, and I really enjoy it. And the guys in the East Tennessee Crappie Club are awesome. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that, buddy. JT says, crappie fishermen and women are a whole different breed. Very friendly and willing to share info. I've seen more fist fights at bass tournaments than I had all the way through high school. I always explain it to people. I bass fished a little bit when I was younger, and and then I got smart. But I always explain it to people like a bass tournament. If you walk up to somebody's boat before the tournament and you look in it, you're probably gonna get shanked because they don't want you looking at what they have tied on before the tournament. Or if you go out fishing and you see somebody catch a big fish on point 19, and then you come back and tell people that John caught a big fish off point 19 today, he's going to shank you in the parking lot because they're, so cutthroat and competitive. Well, crappie fishing is the exact opposite. Most of the time, the winner comes back and tells you that they caught their fish at point 19. So, it's a whole different atmosphere. And a lot of guys, at a crappie tournament, you say, I don't really know what I'm going to do today. I guess I don't even know what bait I'm going to use or anything. They're like, oh, come over to my boat. Let me show you something. Hey, here, take this. And they throw you a pack of baits, and it's like, aren't we competing against one another? Yeah, don't worry about that. Go catch fish. Have fun. That's kind of the difference in bass and crappie. I've told guys that for years, and sometimes they believe me, sometimes they don't. But yeah, and ain't nobody going to tell you, hey, here's some GPS coordinates. Go fish the tournament. Nobody's going to give you that, but guys will tell you, especially at the end of the day, guys will be like, well, we caught them on docks. We caught them on brush. We caught them on points. We caught them on bluffs. We caught them on, they're going to give you a generalized area of what they caught them on and what depths and even colors and baits. So it's a lot of fun. It really is. And there's a great, great family of people that fish crappie tournaments. So try it out. If you hadn't tried it, you got to try it at least once, guys. Just at least one time, you got to try it. So you never know if you like it until you try it, right? That's what I tell my kids. Eat this broccoli. You never know if you're going to like it until you try it. It looks gross, Dad. Just because it looks gross doesn't mean it tastes gross. Just because a crappie tournament doesn't look fun doesn't mean it ain't fun. So try it out, guys. Give it a try. Heidi Clark, there you are. I was wondering where you were, Heidi. Hello, Heidi from Idaho. Glad you're with us, Heidi. Let's see, where am I at? I get lost about 12 times a night, and then we find ourselves, and we're all good again. Ashley says, we really need to try to talk Matt into fishing Norris a couple days. He always says he likes a challenge. Lots of laughs. Laydowns and submerged brush works best for me on Norris. Yeah. So laydowns on bluffs is a good place to look for them on Norris as well. In those areas that I gave you, there is a lot of laydowns on bluffs. Well, of course, pretty much everything out there is a bluff. So if you find a laydown, it's pretty much on a bluff. But yeah, there you go. And I will say this, Kendrick and Ashley can probably concur, is you're looking for those laydowns that have fallen on the bank that aren't broke off. So you're not looking for something that's broke off and sunk. You're looking for something that's fallen down, still the root ball's attached to the bank, and that tree is actually hanging out over open water. That's typically where fish will congregate, more so than something that has fallen off and sunk 30 feet. So if you find something that is basically suspended in the water, a lot of times fish congregate to those a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, and Norris, I mean, I don't fish up there a lot. Guys, a lot of the reason I don't fish Norris much is because it's the furthest lake in East Tennessee from my house. I mean, it takes me hours to get up there. And if I'm just going up there for a half day or something, if I have a half day to fish or 6-8 hours to fish, I'm not driving. I'm not spending half my day driving. So that's typically why I don't fish Norris a whole lot. But I have one up there before, and yeah, Hickory Star, Ashley says. I was right. So yeah. Trey Stewart, what do you need help with? What do you mean, Trey? I'm assuming you mean the super chats where they were talking about helping me out. I had a boat issue last week. I had some boat problems, broke down on the lake. I was able to make it back, but I had to sit there and squeeze the primer bulb. So I got a bunch of parts ordered, and the Wired fam's helping me out with it. So that's what they were helping me out with, Trey. And again, I appreciate each and every one that gave a super chat. Thank y'all very much. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to me, and I appreciate it. Jimmy Pratt says, going with you and being taught how to read the electronics and where is the proper places structure should be for crappie. Going with you, and I guess Jimmy's talking about, so Jimmy's went fishing with me before, and he went on one of my trips, and I think he's talking about being able to go with me and learn those things and read how to read and how to what's the proper places to look in and that sort of thing. So guys, let's stop for a second and talk about something coming in 2021. Okay. So one thing that's coming 2021, Jimmy is preluded for me, or just walked right into, or walked me right into, is the Crappie Academy classes at Crappie Cove, okay, in Maryville, Tennessee. We are going to do Crappie Academy. It is going to be a year-long endeavor. There will be 4 classes, okay? So we have 4 classes this year, and each class is going to have a topic, and we are going to dig very, very, very deep and get very, very detail-oriented. We're going to be very hands-on. We've got some cool things coming in the Crappie Academy. So we've got some, like I said, some hands-on stuff. We've got some games that we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun, okay? So without getting into a huge bunch of detail on that, keep an eye out on the Wired for Crappie website, on the Wired for Crappie Facebook page, Wired for Crappie Instagram, Crappie Cove Facebook page, the Crappie Cove website. We're going to be releasing all that data, all what's happening, all of the classes, and what the agenda is for those classes. We're going to put all that stuff out there for you guys, and we're going to start teaching in a classroom. So you guys will be able to purchase a ticket. We have to sell tickets, guys, because we only have a limited amount of space. And if you guys buy a ticket, you're coming, right? I mean, everybody knows what we don't want to do is we don't want people saying, oh yeah, I'm coming, filling up, and then half the people not coming. So we're going to be selling tickets for that. And another reason is because we're doing it at Crappie Cove. And we're going to have refreshments and drinks. I guess that is refreshments and snacks for you guys there. Like I said, we're going to do some different stuff. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to do some games. We're going to do a lot of different stuff. And we're going to do hands-on in the classroom stuff, knot tying, dock shooting, how to read your electronics. We're going to have videos. I'm going to video my electronics. I'm going to have it up on a big 65-inch TV. We're going to read electronics right there in the classroom together. We're going to really dig into the just the nitty gritties and get real deep involved with everything that is how to find crappie, how to be more successful crappie fishing. And it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be really, really good stuff. So there'll be a lot more on that come out. The first class, it looks like, is going to be in March. It's probably early March. An exact date and time has not been set yet, okay? But early March is probably when the first class is going to take place, okay? So you won't want to miss it. You will want to be a part of that if you're in the East Tennessee area. Now, one other thing that I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and there was a couple people that said, well, what about doing something online? What about putting it out there so that people can watch online? We're working on that. We're going to try to make that happen, okay? We think we've got it figured out, but we've got to really make sure the ins and outs of it are covered so that you guys can join online too. Now, with that being said, it would not be fair to have the people in the classroom pay and the people online not. So it will be a buy your ticket. You'll get your access code, and then you can join online, right? So that's coming up. It's going to be really, really in depth. It's going to be really, really good stuff, and we're going to teach everything crappie fishing. So it's going to be really, really cool, really good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I will be teaching, for the most part, the majority of the class, but we probably will bring some guest speakers in from time to time to teach as well. We're, like I said, 4 classes a year right now is what we're looking at, once a quarter, and we're gonna do it right. Probably 2-hour classes for each class. And then we'll probably do, like I said, there will be some hands-on stuff. There will be some in the classroom stuff, and it's going to be really neat for you guys and for me to be able to become a better fisherman and become a better angler and get a lot more detailed and in depth. It's hard to get detailed and in depth on this live. I love answering the questions, and I'm a detail oriented person, so I like the details of things. And a lot of times I wish I'm sitting here talking to you guys about it, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I could show this clip, or I wish I could show that, or I wish I could, I wish I could hand you some braided line and say, here, tie this knot. But I can't, because we're just live on YouTube. So there's a lot of things that limit us on this that in the classroom type setting is going to help. It's hard to get a 10-foot rod in this screen. So if I'm trying to hold a 10-foot rod up and show you something on a rod, I'm like, so right here is the reel seat, and then hold on. See the eye right here? So it's very difficult on this live, and it's going to allow us to be more detail oriented and help more. So that's the goal, and it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that in 2021. Keep an eye out on all our stuff and we'll talk about it more here live too. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, and we'll have curriculums and all that good stuff, agendas for each class, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really, really, really cool. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. I hope you guys let me know if you think that's something that you're interested in. As soon as we get some applications ready and start taking some or start selling some tickets, then we'll let you guys know and you guys can jump on it. But we are going to limit the class. We only have so many seats because, with everything going on right now, we still want to be safe, but we still want to do something so that you guys have an outlet, right? Something you can go do once a quarter that, gets you out, gets you doing something different, but we want to be safe too. So we're going to do that. We're going to limit the class and first so many that buy a ticket, right? So let's see here. Trey says this is his favorite channel tonight for talking about crappie. That's cool, Trey. That's cool. Let's talk. Let's see. I got another question from you here. I have a question, fellow anglers. Favorite line for float jigging crappie, and do you prefer high vis? Float jigging. So you're talking about like a float and fly setup, Trey? Mine's probably a split between mono or braid. Braid to fluoro. I like braid to fluoro, but for floating and flying, I'd probably stick with just a straight mono. If you're slip floating, it's easier to go straight mono, but I think sometimes braid slips through the float a little bit better. But if you're just floating, flying, and with a fixed float, then yeah, I'd probably go braid to fluoro. So fluorocarbon leader, maybe, I don't know how deep you're fishing, but if you're fishing more than 3 foot, put a 3-foot leader on it, and then braid for me. Guys, I see some comments. Slab Buster, thank you very much. JT, thank you. My wife, living life with Laura. My life. Yeah, she is my life. My wife and life, Laura. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. JT, again, I appreciate it, sir. Thank y'all for the kind words. Trey says he usually fishes with stinger shad and tubes. Stinger shad's a good bait. Tubes can be a good bait. Tubes, for some reason, crappie in East Tennessee just don't prefer a tube. Some guys use them, but I fished with tubes quite a bit down here and just hadn't really had a whole lot of luck. They like the shad style baits. They like the stump bug, the split tail baits, crappie magnet. They like those baits down here, but a tube, it's just, I don't know. I think up north you guys have more tube-like creatures that they feed on. Down here, I just don't know that they do. I guess you're up north. I'm not real sure where you're at. I shouldn't have said that you're up north, but Trey, where you at, buddy? Down here, I just don't use tubes a whole lot. I just kind of relate those to a northern thing. I've caught a few. When we used to go out to Reelfoot, used to catch a few on tubes, but yeah, down here, I just don't use them that much. Kendrick, thank you, sir. Hey, Matt, really appreciate you taking your own time and sharing your knowledge to help others. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. I love doing it. I love getting on here and talking to you guys. I always think to myself, what time is it? How long have we been on? And before I know it, it's been 2 hours. We've been on an hour and 20 minutes now, and sometimes I lose track. But I could stay on here for 4 hours and talk to you guys about crappie fishing. I just love it that much. But thank you for the super chat, Kendrick, very much. And you're very welcome for the knowledge. I love giving it. Let's see. Let's see here. Phew, I'm way behind. You guys are way ahead of me. All right. Roman Roark. I think I said that right. If I didn't, Roman, I'm sorry. So, are the ACC crappie sticks as good as the hype? Thanks. I mean, I could sit there. Yes, absolutely. But let me tell you, without just saying yes, they are, let me tell you what I like about them. Let me see. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let me see if I have one. I think I took them to my boat, but let me see. All right. I took my ACCs to my boat. Sorry, I thought I had one in here, but I took them all out to the boat. So let me tell you what I like about them. Okay. I've explained this before, Roman. So I won't go into a whole lot of detail for sake of time, but when you pick up a rod, and I've said this before, is, you see all these different rod companies, they put a reel on a rod and they put it on their finger and they go, look, it balances perfect. It balances perfect. And they balance that rod like that and they go, look, it balances perfect. Well, every rod will balance at some, whether you put your finger here, you put your finger here, you put your finger here, every rod's going to balance somewhere, and they're all going to balance pretty close to one another because, they weigh about the same and they put a reel on them and they balance about in the same place. So, that's kind of one of the things that people put out there all the time, and they say, look, it balances. Yeah, well, the other one's balanced too, right? But let's get a little more in depth with the hype, if you will. Let's talk about eyes. Let's talk about reel seats. Let's talk about grips. Let's talk about backbone, okay? So eyes, stainless steel eyes are a must for me. You got to have stainless steel eyes, and the reason why is because if you fish with braid, I don't know if you do or not, but if you fish with braid, any other eye, braid will cut it, okay? A good stainless eye is, in my opinion, way to go. So ACC has those. The first eye on an ACC crappie stick is actually, so you guys have seen that funky eye on an ACC crappie stick, the first eye, that actually on your casting rods, that actually reduces the line slap. So if you guys, you've got your line, okay, you unspool, well, slow down. So you see that wave in the line, the memory, if you will, in that line. When you shoot that through that eyelet, it comes out like this, like a corkscrew, just like that line I held up right there. It's got that corkscrew, that memory on it, right? So what that first eye does is it eliminates that line slap as it's slapping that eye and slapping the rod as that line's going out. And it allows you to get a little more distance on your cast. It allows you to get a little more distance on your shot under a dock. It allows you a little bit more distance. Now, are we talking 30 feet? No. Are we talking 5 feet? Yeah. a lot of times shooting docks, 5 feet makes a difference. If those fish have a knack for getting back there where that guy can't get a jig. So it makes a difference. So, for eyes, the ACC crappie stick, I like a large eye on the end of a rod. I do not like those little tiny micro eyes on the end of a rod, and I'll tell you why. Because again, there's line slapping as it goes out the rod. Those little tiny eyes, you just get more friction coming out of those. You don't get as long as of a shot or a cast. So I like a larger eye. ACCs have that. I like the eyes all the way around from the bottom to the top on an ACC crappie stick. Now let's talk about reel seat. Reel seat's important because if you hold a rod all day, and I do not like talking bad about product at all. I don't want to talk bad about anybody's product, but I'm going to use an example, and I'm sorry to them first and foremost, but Wally Marshall and Lew's had a rod that they released. It was a dock shooting rod. It was purple, if you guys remember it. I'm not going to name the name of it, but it had a plastic reel seat on it, and it was the most uncomfortable reel seat I ever put in my hand. I bought one years ago, and it was just uncomfortable. Now, the rod was great. I could shoot a jig under a dock like nobody's business. But the reel seat, I would fish with it that day, and it would hurt my hand. By the end of the day, my hand would hurt. And it was like, nah, I can't do that. That plastic reel seat, no cork, nothing on it. The cork was on the bottom, and then it just had the reel seat, and then it just stopped. And it was like, nah, it's just awful, awful, awful. So anyway, again, sorry. I don't want to talk bad about their product. That was just one of their rods. I'm not saying they're all that way. That was just the one I had, that one. So anyway, reel seat is very important. The reason being is it's got to fit your hands, got to be comfortable. And ACC offers many different reel seats. They have a corked reel seat, and they have a super grip on some of their larger rods. I believe it's 8 foot and up. They offer a super grip, and the super grip is like a wind grip. It is extremely, extremely comfortable. All their reel seats across their line of rods are comfortable. So you can fish with them all day. Look, guys, your hands are where your money's at for crappie fishing. You've got to be able to feel that bite. You've got to be able to get a good hook set on that fish. If your hand hurts halfway through the day, first of all, you're not holding the rod as tight. You're losing contact with your rod because your hand hurts, and you're not setting the hook as hard as you were in the beginning of the day because your hand hurts. Every time you set the hook, it hurts. You're not going to do it, right? So it's very important to have a good reel seat. ACC does. Grips. We talked about grips. I like a cork grip until I got the super grip, and now I like the super grip. I kind of wish they had the super grip on my dock shooters because I'd definitely use it if they had it on my dock shooters. But I've always been a fan of a cork grip. I always like the feel of a cork grip and how the vibration resonates through the cork to my hand. So when a fish hits, you want that vibration to resonate through the grip to your hand, and it does on an ACC. So, I prefer a cork grip just for that reason. But I like the super grip too. And then backbone. So backbone on a rod, if you get a backbone too high, guys, on that rod, and backbone, I'll explain backbone like this. You've got your rod. You got to find that magical area where you've got the right amount of backbone. So if your backbone's way down here and you've got a real flimsy tip, you can't get a good hook set because your tip's way too flimsy. If you get a backbone that's up here, the stiffest part of the backbone is what I'm talking about, okay? If the stiffest part of your backbone is here, then you've got a tip that you can't do nothing with because you can't shoot a dock with that. You can't, you could vertical jig with it, but it's like a telephone pole. It's like just a big straight piece of concrete that you're fishing with. So finding that perfect area on that rod where that backbone is set, that way you've got the right amount of tip action and the right amount of power to set the hook, is difficult. It is very difficult. And guys spend years and years demoing rods, and prototypes and everything else to get that backbone in the right spot. And ACC has that. They have that. They have that on every rod I've ever put in my hand. They have that. So it is a very good rod. I hope that explains without just saying, yeah, they're the best. They're cool. They're the greenest and the best. Yeah, they are. They're the greenest and they're the best, but why? I always like to say why. I don't ever want to just be like, yep, go get them. You got to go get them. And then leave you guys with that. It's like, why? So without, spending another 2 hours talking about it, that is the answer to that question, Roman. And I hope that helps. Big O, Matt, this is a family, and family help each other, man. Thank you, Big O. Again, I appreciate you. I thank you very much. And you're right. This is a wired fam, and I appreciate it very, 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 very much. Let's see. Kenneth Pippin said, hey, sell one waypoint 12,000 times. Look, I've heard of guys actually that some guides and things actually sell like lots of waypoints. Like they have a chip and they say, it's got 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 100 waypoints. And they're selling those chips to people all the time. I know guys that have done that actually. And, the thing is I kind of feel bad about doing that. I mean, could you imagine taking 25 waypoints and selling them 1,000 times to 1,000 different people? Good night. You guys would never catch any fish there. I mean, it'd be guys sitting on them 25 spots every day. So no, I couldn't do that. That's just not in my nature. But like I said, my nature is to give you guys the tools and the tips and the techniques to be able to go find those spots and not need my waypoints. So that's my goal. And, I don't know. I mean, maybe at some point when I get older and, I can't go fish, maybe I will sell my waypoints. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell them and give the money to my grandkids or something. I don't know. Maybe one day. We'll see. Trent Huber, what size line do you use with those Montec jigs on your board? You vertical jig those or shoot those under docks? That's pretty good right there. The Montec jigs he's talking about are right here. Those are not jigs. Those are broadheads for my bow. So yeah, I shoot these under docks. They work really well on catfish and carp. All right. So those are my Montec jig heads, or jig heads. Look at me. Those are my Montec broadheads. They're sitting back there waiting to go on some arrows. So anyway, that's funny. Good one, Trent. Very good one. Now I'm not putting it back up there because I feel bad about it. All right. Heath McDaniel said, if you don't buy them all first, I'm not buying all these first, I promise. Golly, is everybody having it? 2021 ain't starting too good. My boat tore up Thursday. Also, shifter box messed up. Golly, man, it's something in the water, guys. Something in the water. We gotta all stick together. Slab Buster, I hope you get that fixed. If it's in the shifter box, I had a shifter box mess up on me one time on a bass tracker, and I took it apart. And there's actually ball bearings in there. When you roll the shifter, the ball bearings spin around, and those ball bearings just popped out. And I put the ball bearings back in, put the cover back on it, and went right back to fishing. So I don't know what boat you're fishing out of, but if it's a bass tracker, you may be able to take that box off, open the back cover up, and you'll be able to see those ball bearings, and they may have just popped out. I don't know. And I'm assuming that, there's probably other boats that are the same way. they're driven by ball bearings as far as the shifter handle is concerned. So I don't know. Maybe it's something easy. I hope it is. Heidi Clark, if you do make more pumpkin and chartreuse stump bugs, they should give you a portion of each package sold because they would not be selling those if it wasn't for you. Thank you, Heidi. Can you call Bonehead? Send them an email. Just go to their website and send that an email to Bonehead Tackle, and I would appreciate that. That's pretty good. I like your thinking, Heidi. Heidi, you need to be my Heidi, you want to be my manager? You want to be my manager? I'm gonna get Heidi Clark to be my manager from Illinois, Idaho. Where are you from? Idaho, right? Yeah. Heidi Clark is gonna be my manager from Idaho, I believe. Yep, Idaho. I was right. That's funny. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that. I'm so far behind, guys. I'm trying to catch up. If I miss your question, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Andrew had fuel issues too, it looks like. Bogs down when I give it gas, idle's fine, so had to idle back. Don't know, haven't really dug into it, thinking clogged jet or collapsed fuel line. It wouldn't be collapsed fuel line, I don't think, Andrew, because if it's collapsed fuel line, it would be dying at idle. If a fuel line's collapsed, it's collapsed. I don't think it would idle very well. It may, because it's not pulling as much pressure, it may idle some, but it probably wouldn't idle correctly. So I would lean more towards a jet for sure. Sounds like a high-speed jet's clogged. If you're idling fine, no issue at all at idle, and your throttle is bogging down, then I would lean towards a jet first. If it wasn't a jet clogged up, then I would go more towards ignition. An ignition coil, a coil pack, something along those lines. That's not firing strong. That's causing you to bog. It's basically if it's not firing well or not firing at all at higher speed, timing is off. That could cause it. But if it's not firing well, you're filling a cylinder full of oil or full of fuel and oil, and it's just bogging. But that's beyond past jet. I would think high-speed jet first, probably. Let's see here. Ashley Coffee, very true, Matt, on the laydowns on Norris. I find them a lot on sycamore tree laydowns, more so than other types of trees. And the creek possibly could be Lost Creek. Yeah, it is Lost Creek that Matt was thinking of. Yeah, it is Lost Creek. That's the one down around Hickory Star is Lost Creek. See, actually, you didn't think I knew Norris that well, did you, buddy? No better than you think, my friend. I can go to Norris and catch fish. All this hard time you're giving me. I go up there and catch fish. Now, do I want to go up there and fish a tournament? No, not necessarily. I will if I have to, but I don't necessarily want to. But no, I can go catch fish on Norris. I'm not. I think I could. I know enough about it anyway. Anthony Marshall, could you record the Crappie Academy classes and sell them for people that can't be there in person? Yeah, that's something else we've talked about, Anthony. I think we could probably make that work. So, absolutely, I think we could make that work. That's just something that we have to work out. And like I said, we're probably gonna do it, or we're gonna try to do it online. Where you guys can buy a ticket online and get an access code and get in that way. So we're going to work it all out. We'll let everybody know what's going on. between now and March, and we'll get all the dates and everything lined up for you guys, and the classes and the titles, or not titles, but the names of the classes and what we're going to discuss and all that stuff. So just keep an eye out on Crappie Cove, on Wired for Crappie, and we'll keep everybody informed. Okay. Larry says, I suspect you're going to need a bigger venue than Crappie Cove. Man, I'll tell you right now, Larry, if we need a bigger venue at some point, amen. Amen to that, brother. We'll get a bigger venue. That ain't no big deal. If we got to get a bigger venue, we'll get it. Okay. I hope we do. I really do. I hope we do. I hope at some point we need a bigger venue. That's the goal. The goal is to grow, and the goal is to continue in the Wired for Crappie walk. So I really hope that we do, for sure. Larry McBride, hey, Matt, I'm thinking about getting a new pole and reel. What would you get? I'm going to be mostly casting jigs or live bait. If I was going to buy a new pole for casting jigs and live bait, I'd get a 6.5-foot ACC crappie stick and a Fluger Try-On size 25 reel. Best all-around rod you can buy, period. You can shoot docks, you can cast, you can vertical jig with it. You can throw a float and fly. You can throw a slip float in a minute, which it sounds like you're going to be doing, casting jigs and live bait. So I would get a 6.5-foot ACC crappie stick and a Fluger Try-On size 25 reel. The Fluger Try-On, I got one right here. That is the Fluger Try-On size 25. Okay. We talked about it the other day. I did have one fail on me, but I have abused that reel for years, and it finally failed. But other than that, these reels have been very consistent and very, very good for me. So they're a lower price point than the President, Larry. You don't have to pay the same amount you have to pay for the President for these. I think you can get these for about $40, where the President's like $60 or $70. The Try-On is a very, very good platform and a very good reel. So I'm not sponsored by them yet, but hashtag yet. But I pay for them just like you guys do. So I love them. I invest my money in them because I believe they work. So, and they're a good product. So there you go. That's what I would buy if I was going to buy a rod and reel for your application. Heath McDaniel, this isn't going to be graded like in school is because I don't do well on tests. Lots of laughs. I think you're talking about the Crappie Academy. No, it's not going to be graded. But we're going to play some games. We're going to do some different stuff. We're going to make it fun, right? So, no, it's not going to be graded, but we're going to mix it up. We're going to do some things. Look, I don't know about you guys, but I learned by getting my hands on stuff. And I learned by, playing games with myself, ditties, stuff that sticks in my memory, right, is how I learn. I can learn in a classroom or in a just like reading a book is hard for me to learn. I have a hard time reading a book and learning. So I want to get hands-on. I want to get more involved. I want the details. I want to get, as detail-oriented as I can. And, I learn better that way. So I know a lot of other guys do too, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get detailed, and we're going to get hands-on and stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. So we're going to get everybody jacked up on Mountain Dew and Snicker bars, and we're just going to laugh the whole time on Mountain Dew and Snicker bars. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Tyler Klein from Arizona. What's up, my friend? How's it going? Glad you're with us. Jimmy says he's going to bring a crappie food truck. So he's going to provide the crappie for everybody to eat. Jimmy is going to bring a fryer and a bunch of crappie that he goes and catches, and he's he's and he's going to fry them up for us. Look at him. See? He said, "You need to get one, and I'll bring one." That's what I read right there. Daryl Coral says, if you can skip the 14th of March, that's our classic tournament. Yeah, I don't think it'll be on the 14th, Daryl. For the sake of not saying the wrong date, I won't release a date right now, but it's not going to be the 14th, okay? For sure. Jamie Nelson, when using 1/16 ounce jigs, what is your favorite line? It seems I can never get the slack out. What are you doing with them? Shooting docks, casting, vertical jigging? What are you doing? I guess you're probably casting if you can't get the slack out, because if you're vertical jigging, it would get it out for you straight up and down. Shooting docks, you could be doing. You could be slip floating. Of course, you can get the slack out by reeling up to the float. I'm assuming you're casting or shooting docks. So, Jamie, you don't always necessarily have to get all the slack out. When people say watch your line, they're watching the slack in their line. They're not getting their line tight and then watching the line. A lot of times, so you get that bow in your line, you've got it coming out to the rod, and then it comes down and it bows and it just kind of lays on the water. You're watching that bow, okay? Where that line comes out of the rod, comes down and bows and hits the water, that's what you're watching. A lot of times, that the very beginning of that bow, where the bow touches the water, you're watching right there. And if you can see further on your line, great, watch it too. But you're watching right there where the line touches the water, because a lot of times when a fish hits you on the fall, where that line bows and touches the water, you'll see it jump. Okay? So when you're watching your line, you don't have to get your slack out of the line. A lot of times you can just watch that bow where it touches the water, and if you see it jump, set the hook. Just crank a couple times and pop him, because there's a fish there. Okay. Donald McQuilling, what jig weight we're using at Chick? 32nd ounce. I like to use the lightest jig head I can when there's no wind. If there's wind or current, I will go up in jig size. But if I can get away with a 32nd, what was that? If I can get away with a 32nd, that's what I try to get away with. Jamie Nelson, here it is. This should be the motto at the top of the screen. Give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. Don't know who said it, not mine. Thanks, Matt. That's right. I'm not sure who said that either, but that should be our team motto. Heidi Clark said, I will send Bonehead a email. They need to be set straight. I like Heidi, guys. I like Heidi. Thank you, Heidi. She's getting on it, boy. I tell you. Heidi's like, oh, they won't? All right, I get this. I got this. I can see Heidi sitting up there in front of her computer right now. I got this. I'm going to take care of Matt right now. That's pretty good. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate you. I'm telling you, she's manager material, guys. I'm telling you. That's funny. Trevor Argis. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Any tips on fishing Melton Hill, and do you consider it a decent crappie lake? Yes, tips for Melton Hill. Pull your boat out and go to another. No, I'm just kidding. Melton Hill's all about the current. Melton Hill they call it Melton Hill Lake, but it ain't a lake. It's a river. You got to fish it like a river system. Looking for the eddies when they're pulling water. You're looking for those eddy areas. You're looking for those feeding grounds. You're looking for those little backwater areas. Typically, it's colder because they're pulling out of Norris, and it's typically cooler water because Norris is deeper than mess up at the dam. So typically, you got colder water on Melton Hill. The further upriver you go, the colder it gets. That would be my suggestions. Laydowns are really good. That would be my suggestions for Melton Hill. If I was fishing Melton Hill, just fish it like a river. It is a true river. I mean, it is, especially when they're running water. Doug says, I'm on ACC's website getting jig heads, and a new rod. I live in 10 Mile. Do you recommend 16th ounce this time of year? It depends on what you're going to do. If you're going to fish brush, yes, a 16th. If you're going to fish docks, a 32nd. I don't know that they have a 32nd in the ACC, so I'd get 16th. Ronnie, thank you very much. Congrats on 6K subs. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, for those that hadn't seen it, we have eclipsed 6,000 subscribers. That is just mind-boggling to me. 6,000 subscribers. That is insane. I'm honored. Thank you, Ronnie, very much. 6,000 subs. I think, guys, when we get to, I'd really like to get to 8. When we get to 8, I think we will give away a fishing trip. So that's kind of what I'd like to do for our next giveaways. Give away a fishing trip, do it at 8,000 subscribers, and give it to one of the subscribers and roll with it. So we'll get that set up. I don't know if we'll do it at 8 or 10. I guess maybe 10 would be a good round number, but I don't know. We'll see. That's a lot of subs from 6. So I'd like to get it done in 2021. So maybe, I don't know. You think we'll hit 10 in 2021? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do we need to do it at? Somebody's going to say 6,100, but what do you guys think? You think we'll hit 10,000 subs in 2021? What do y'all think? Tell me what you think. George Hamby, what's up? Have you gotten your boat fixed yet? Not yet, but I am. I'm working on it, George. I'm working on it. So I had to buy some parts, and we're working on it. So we're gonna get her going. We're gonna get. Her name's Margie. In case anybody's wondering what my boat's name is, her name is Margie. Margie's a redhead. Okay. So Margie's in intensive care right now. She's going to get worked on. We're going to get her back up and running for the weekend. That's my goal. We're going to get back and running for the weekend. So Margie's going to be all right. And for those that have helped with that tonight, I appreciate you guys very much again. Thank you for the super chats. It's an honor and a blessing to be able to conversate and know and have interactions with all of you, all the Wired fam. So thank y'all very much. Let's see. Here's a good question. 906. Do you like using twister tails for crappie in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan? They work great. So yes, I do like twister tails. I prefer. I've showed them before. The crappie magnet slab curly is a very, very good twister tail to troll with and cast. It's a very good casting bait as well. And then of course. I just forgot the name of them. Of course, the other twister tail I use is good too. I can't remember the name of it now. But that's slab curly from Crappie Magnet is a great bait for sure. But I do use curly tails. Yep. Heidi says, JT, what's right is what's right. Credit has to go to Matt. Hey, I agree with you, Heidi. I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much, because I agree. Ashley says he taught me to fish with light as you can get by with, down to 12 feet or so, 1/32. Deeper than that, down to 20 to 25. I'd say 16th. Just depends on how you're fishing. Very, very true, Ashley. Very, very true. Best 6-pound mono, Vicious, hands down, in my opinion. If I was going to use high vis mono, it would be Vicious. That's 4-pound, not 6, but you can use 4 or 6, whatever you prefer. I prefer 4 because I like the line diameter of 4, and I feel like it casts better and comes off my spool better. So I use 4, but you can pick up a spool of this for like $8, and it's turn it over, $8, and you get 3,000 yards almost, quarter pound, 3,000 yards. I mean, come on, that's 9,000 feet. So pretty good deal. That's what I use. Let's see. Drum King, what's up, DK? DK, I called you the other day and your phone went straight to voicemail. So I don't know what that was about, but I tried to call you several times. I'm going to try to call you tomorrow because I've got a question for you. So holler at me tomorrow, or I'll holler at you tomorrow. Teach a man to fish and he will have more jigs than Bass Pro Shop. That ain't no joke. That is no joke. I just keep accumulating jigs and jig heads and everything else. So yeah. Speaking of which, man cave. I've already started developing plans for the man cave. We're talking pegboard walls and the whole nines. I mean, we're going all out with it. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm gonna hang every jig I got on them. So what's not in the boat, most of them stay in the boat. But the backups are gonna be on the wall. Ronnie Harris says yes. I'm assuming about the 10K. 10K in 2021. Yes, we all need to share. Thank you, Jamie. That is a great point. Guys, if y'all like the content, do me a favor. Please share it. If you have Facebook or Instagram or any of that stuff, it doesn't take a second to hit share it to your page. Every share, even if let's just say this, let's say there's 2,000 people that watch a video and you share it and 2 people click on your video, that 2,000 can turn into 6,000 like that. Take the time to share the video if you don't care. And, if you like the content, share it with people. And, we'll continue to grow. So I appreciate y'all very much. I appreciate it, Jamie, for mentioning the shared thing. I typically always forget to tell people to share. I've gotten a little bit better about saying, hey, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I've gotten a little bit better about that, but I'm still not 100% on it yet. But yeah, please like and share. Slabbuster says yes. If not, be very close to 10K. JT says 10K is a slam dunk for 2021. Just stick with us and we will make it happen. Thank you, JT. I appreciate you, buddy, very much. I think we can do it. I really do. I think we can do it. I think it can be done. It can be done, and I think it can be done pretty easy. The way it's grown since I started watching the channel, I'm going to say 10K in the spring. Sweet. I like Ashley's thinking. I like it. I'm gonna stick with that. We're gonna put that on the calendar. I like it. I think so too. Heidi, my manager, congrats on 6K subs. You deserve it. Thank you, Heidi. Yes, I think you will hit 10K this year. You give so much to all of us. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it very much. Jamie Nelson, as a newbie next week, differences of casting, vertical, shooting, trolling. Absolutely, Jamie. Lots of techniques. There are lots of techniques. Buying jigs is an addiction. It is an addiction. It really is. There ain't no doubt. Drum King says, I'll be home all day. Great. I'm going to holler at you, DK, because I got a couple things I want to talk about. Do you have any of those pumpkin and chartreuse jigs on your wall you could show us? Yeah, I have some. It's them right there. That's not a very good representation of them, but let me get one out. So there it is. Pumpkin and chartreuse. Now I want you guys to notice a couple things. That chartreuse has kind of a pearlescent to it. Can you guys see that? Can you see the kind of that pearlescent kind of sheen that it has? And then the chartreuse is perfect. I mean, the pumpkin is perfect. It's just that perfect pumpkin. I like it. That pepper flake in it. Oh, man. That's horrible. That's worse. Yeah, that's worse than the slab bite. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was a mistake. That was gross. Yeah, fish are nasty. But they'll eat it. They like it. But anyway, that's the pumpkin and chartreuse stump bug. And I am excited for 2021. Okay, I'm excited right there. As of right now, I've got the last 13 packs in existence. And for now, there you go. All right. Trevor says, thanks for the response. You're welcome, sir. Doug says, just share it on Facebook. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it, buddy. Of course, he loves to rub that in. Lots of laughs. Thanks. That's a nice looking jig. It really is, George Bill. It really is, and it's a fish catching machine. I'm telling you. As I've said a million times, that's my go-to color when I'm trying to catch big fish. It's just my go-to color. So I really enjoy it, and yeah, that's what it is. Blake says, good night, all. Good night, Blake. JT eats crayons but spit the jig out. That's a marine joke. Thank you very much. Ashley says, can't believe you just threw that in your mouth. You'll try anything once. Lots of laughs. Daryl says, good night, all. All right, guys, we're going to call it. We've been on for 2 hours again. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate everything y'all do for the channel. Don't forget, Crappie Cove in Maryville. Wired gets you 10% off there. Bonehead Tackle, Crappie 2021 is the new code there. Gets you 15% off at Bonehead. And then Fishing Specialties, if you're in the market for a Fishing Specialties pole for your live scope unit, Wired gets you 10% off at Fishing Specialties. So, Heidi, I appreciate you. You're my new manager. Thank you very much. Again, we're hitting up Bonehead, telling them they need to quit being crazy. And guys, as always, God bless. We'll see you next week. Watch for the video this week, and we will catch you guys next Wednesday, same time, same place. We'll see you later.